It is amazing that many students stress more about paying for college than their actual classes that they need to pass. It is horrible and sad when a high school student needs to keep money in their mind when they decide if they want to go to college or not. How many people drop out or don't attend college because they can't afford tuition? In this speech, I will persuade and inform you in why college needs to be free, or at least affordable. I will also dispute those who think differently than I do. Robert Russo wrote in his article, Should College Be Free?, that making college free would allow easy access for people to get in school. Then I asked, why do we take SATs? I always thought the SATs was a big determination factor in what schools we qualify to attend. For schools, they allow students in based on the GPA from high school and the SATs. Our determination factor to attend college is, can we afford it? In Mexico, only students who pass this huge test that is similar to the SATs can attend college, and they go to school for free. Their economy is much worse than ours. So if such a poor country like Mexico can afford to do it, why can't we? People ask every day, how is the country going to get out of this crisis in the economy? College students are the future, so you ask, how do we help them prepare for this? Too many people don't go to school because they can't afford it. How is our country's future supposed to get better if we don't allow all of our brilliant minds to get an opportunity to prove themselves? Jim Saxon said that guaranteed student loans has grown from the 70s to the 80s from $3.9 billion to $10.9 billion. Wow, that's how many people are in debt to our government because they cannot afford school tuition. And we ask, why is our economy in bad shape? Well, there is a huge reason. I can't even imagine what it's like now 20 years later. It scares me when I see these numbers gradually grow. Is this necessary? And what exactly are they using the money towards? Do we really need to spend millions of dollars on sports teams? In the past 20 years, tuition has increased twice as fast as the overall cost of living, said Haley White. From the 1980s, the cost of tuition grew 146%. That's amazing when medical care grew only 117% and home costs grew only 90%. White mentioned in her essay about tuition that one of the biggest excuses for rising tuition is financial aid, something that many students can't even qualify for. If you make school affordable or free, then we wouldn't need financial aid, or we would barely use it. I read an article about a high school girl that was getting close to finishing high school and was deciding about her future. It said that Sharina had these questions in her mind. I would love to go to college, and I am definitely looking forward to it. But is it too expensive? Would my hopes and dreams be crushed? Then she said something that made me think really hard. Lowering college tuition can also bring more students to attend college. This could also bring even more money than before. In a way, it makes sense. That's how Walmart makes their money. They sell their items cheaper than everyone else, but the trick is they sell more than their competitors. So if schools lower their tuition rates, that means more brilliant minds as well as money coming in. You can never go wrong when you do things like a corporation like Walmart. People ask, if we make tuition free or affordable, how are schools and the government going to afford it? Well, in California, they spend approximately $1 billion, which is out of the nationwide bill of $53 billion. That's only nearly 18% of the military's budget. With $1 billion, they can get 12 aircraft carriers. Are we not worth 12 aircraft carriers? Gale Groups wrote that college should be free for good students. Like I said earlier, kids can't go because their families can't afford it. A high school diploma can barely get you a manager's position at McDonald's, which says a lot. So it's super important for people to get at least a bachelor's degree. If we can't afford it, we won't get it, so that means that many of our brilliant minds will be stuck working in low-paying jobs and not contributing to our country in an important way. And since college graduates that make twice as much than high school graduates, doesn't that mean more tax revenue for Uncle Sam? There are only a couple ways that we could fight this issue, according to White. The first one is being involved politically. That means to keep up with meetings, have your voice heard. It's also very important to get family and friends as well as fellow students to attend and get their voices heard. If we don't participate, there's nothing we can do but let them take advantage of us. The other way is finding ways to make school a little bit more affordable. For example, I decided to attend community college for the first 2 years, which saved me over $10,000. Either way, no one should resort to doing that if they didn't want to. In this speech, I informed you on why it's important to keep tuition affordable or free, and persuaded you to do something about it. Too many college students finish school with a crazy amount of debt, which makes life complicated. This problem also affects the decision making for high school students deciding their future. Remember that everything that I told you today was only about tuition. I did not include living, parking, technology, and meal fees, as well as the cost of books. So let me ask you one thing. Do you still think that it's okay to pay these outrageous tuition